Welcome back to DES Trucks. Today we are going to be talking about trucks. And I got them all lined up right now. I got the wife's 3.5 liter Power Boost F-150 right here. It just made a noise. I don't know if she's getting ready to jump in here, but it looks like she's got it locked. Of course, it's off limits to me most of the time, but one day when she's not looking, I'm going to grab her keys. I'm going to take this truck, hook up to the dump trailer. I'm going to get a yard. I'm going to get like 4 or 5 yards of dirt, and I'm going to see what this truck can do. So stay tuned to the channel for that. Over here, we've got my daily driver, my 2020 F450, 6.7 liter Power Stroke with 1,050 foot-pounds of torque, and I forget the horsepower, maybe like 430 horsepower, something like that. But as you can see, it is all set up and ready for snow. And actually, we are about to get a little bit of snow tonight. So this is my ongoing project. It's been good. I'm actually thinking about some new things to do. But as you can see, I've got the salt spreader in the truck right now. And I've also got my camera from Camera Source. I actually just got a question about this. Camera from Camera Source. Oh, look, there's Donna. She must be in here. Hey, I was just talking about you and your truck. I'm going to need to borrow that soon. But anyway, I got my camera right there. And that is from Camera Source. And I was actually just talking to a subscriber about this camera. And it is invaluable when you got something big like this, like a salt dog. But even if you've got like a sliding camper or something like that, this guy is what you want to get. And speaking of slide in camper, that is one of those things that if you're going to be ordering a Super Duty truck, you really want to look at that slide in camper certification. Basically, for my use, what it's really doing for me is it's giving me this super heavy duty rear sway bar. I don't know if the lighting's going to be good up under here, but that heavy duty sway bar really helps with stability driving with this load, because when you put 4,000 pounds of salt in the back of this thing, it can get kind of squirrely and tippy. And with that sliding camper package, the main thing, that rear sway bar, it's super stable. Now with that, you also get heavier duty front springs, which we already get because we have the snowplow prep package, but you can get the heavier duty front springs as well, and you get a certification for slide-in campers. So for insurance purposes and warranty purposes and all that, if you're going to put a slide-in camper on, but even if you're not, I think it's worth it. Now, when I ordered my 2019 F250, I tried to get the slide-in camper certification, but for whatever reason at the time of ordering the truck, there was an issue with ordering the slide-in camper certification as well as the extra heavy-duty alternator. And I know that I really needed that extra heavy-duty alternator. Now, for some reason, it would not let me order this truck with slide-in camper certification and extra heavy duty, like a 240 amp heavy duty alternator. So I opted to get the alternator because I definitely needed the alternator, and I really needed the slide-in camper certification, because even with salt, if you put a yard of salt in this, the biggest spreader I put is a 1 yard salt spreader, and you put that in this truck and it doesn't feel that stable compared to the 450, which I would never do, but I could go over payload in the 450 and feel like it's got a lot more capacity. But if I go over payload in my 250, it seems kind of sketchy. So I actually never really, you can't load this 250 as heavy, and I think it's because without that rear sway bar and overload springs, I believe the slide-in camper package gives you overload springs as well. Would have been nice to get that, but for some reason in the ordering process, it wouldn't work. They've probably worked that issue out, because there was no like conflict of interest between this heavy duty alternator and the slide-in camper certification. There really wasn't any conflict of interest there, but for whatever reason, it just wouldn't work. So I knew it would be kind of difficult. It would be quite difficult for me to order that slide-in camper certification or do anything to recreate that, or it'd be difficult for me to recreate the heavy-duty alternator because the alternators are like $900. So I just went ahead and did the alternator. I kind of wish that I could have gotten both, but check this out, guys. So I put these buttons inside of the truck. So these are flush mounted right there, and you can press that. And when you press that, because this truck, again, ordering issues, doesn't have upfitter switches. So I added these two little switches, and there you have it. Oh, I do know what I want to talk about though. I actually just did my first project working on a customer's car, something I've not done in a long time. I mean, I used to wrench back in the day for people, but I actually just did a job for a customer. I took a customer. So what we did is we actually put a key on power outlet so that it gets hot whenever the key is on, and it turns off whenever the key is off, but we put it up on the dash. So let me go ahead and jump inside of my 450 and see if I can show you how mine looks and how I did for this customer. He also had a 450. He saw a video and he reached out and was like, hey, I would like to have you do that to my truck. So what did I do? I actually installed one of these for him, and it's kind of cool. It was my first time really doing 12-volt repair for someone, or 12-volt modification upfit for someone. And yeah, so if you are interested in having me do something to your truck, let me know. If you've seen something on the channel that you like, let me know, and I will set aside some time and get around to you. But anyway, it went pretty good, but I definitely faced some challenges working on this truck, this 2021 450. I was trying to use my pass-through wires just like I did on my 250 here. I actually, on the 250, I'll show you what I did here. On my 250, I was able to use the pass-through wires to actually pass through the interior of the truck from the exterior. So this is how you get basically a wire to go from the engine bay to the interior of the truck. You basically can use these pass-through wires that are tucked way back here. You can see that there's still two left here. It's hard to see because it's dark, but there's still two left, and you can actually get from the engine bay to the interior of the truck. I tried to tap into those, and it was like impossible. Like, you try to reach up in here in the passenger side footwell, and you just couldn't reach them. So it just took a long time to do. It took longer than I wanted it to take. And then I accidentally put the hole kind of in the wrong spot, and the power point didn't sit flush all the way. So I just had to reposition it, and I had to close up the hole. You can't tell that it happened, but other than that, it went pretty good. So I am proud that I, got my first client. I got through it. It was a little bit challenging here and there, but nonetheless, I made it through. And yeah, so I took my first client. So if you see something that you like, I am going to be working on doing this running board light install again for my 450. I'm going to do my 450, but I did it to this truck. As you guys saw, they flash. I think they add pretty good visibility, 360, because on this truck, particularly on this truck, when you're behind it, you can still see that running board flashing at you. But on the dually, it's still cool. You're not going to see it around the dually wheels, but nonetheless, it's still cool. I'm going to be working on doing that, adding that to because the thing that I'm realizing is, even though I can do it, if I'm not super proficient, then it's going to take me a long time to do it and do it right, because I'm OCD. I like everything to be super squared away. And if I'm not real proficient and done it a couple times, like I've done it to this truck, now if I do it to a customer's truck, it's still going to take me too long, even though I'll be able to do a good job. What I want to do is, now that I've done it to this truck, I'll do it to my 450, and then I'll be ready to take on a customer and actually be proficient at it. But Anyway, guys, that's pretty much just it. Just touching base with you guys, just talking trucks for a minute. And yeah, so this is where we are. Snow is coming. I got 2 plows now. I don't know if I talked about that, but I do want to just wrap this video up because it's getting dark and it's getting late. But anyway, this is DS Trucks. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Over and out.